Number one Ibble Dibble here. Hello, friends. As ever, I'm here to mock Meghan Markle. I haven't even thought about H&M in almost 6 months, I think, but so much Meghan Markle hype clogged up my innocent feeds, my innocent, every woman, unrelated feeds.
It's a dirty game.
So I had to catch up. Firstly, am I the only one who was not even recommended this show on Netflix? Yet I'm seeing ads for it on mainstream media sites like the Associated Press. Do you think she's paying for advertising herself? Because Netflix and Ari Emanuel simply are not going to throw good money after bad and are wholly expecting a total flop. I think even if they were advertising for her a bit, they do it in a focused, cheap way. Perez Hilton, deux moi. I think only Meghan herself is arrogant enough to imagine people scanning AP and Reuters have any interest in her or even remember who she is. So I had to look up Meghan and I laughed before I even clicked. The smize, the hunch, the insistence on writing her name like an uppity pirate, the crazy number of plants on what presumably is a table used for cooking. Or are those herbs? Is this going to be a soup kitchen thing? She's billing herself as Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Oh.
It's a dirty game.
Why did they dump the episodes and not drip them? That signals they know she's not going to pull new subscriptions for them. They're not even bothering trying to string along her fans because they don't think she really has any.
Let's make a show.
Porn vibes. Her face. She's genuinely happier doing this bullshit than she was on her wedding day.
Let's go.
You can see how much she loves ordering people around. The camera was already rolling, pushed in, and tracking her. She knows that because it's 5 feet away from her body at most. They literally couldn't edit this fast enough. They couldn't cut away fast enough for us not to notice her smug little smile. This one little phrase and gesture is so revealing. We know within the first 10 seconds of the preview, we don't even have to watch the show or another tiresome interview to know that over the past 5 years, she has not reflected, reworked, renewed, revamped, and is giving us the reveal. No, she's doubled down in her narcissism. Remember in the Harry and Meghan series, which is still on Netflix, she was doing the who, me, pushy? Princess pushy? Me? Never. Her exact words were,
I'm not trying to stand out here. There's no version of me joining this family and trying to not do everything I could to fit in. I don't want to embarrass the family.
and she doesn't bother anymore. Now it's, I am pushy. That's Princess Pushy to you. I'm charming, right, Harry? You will be charmed. I only wonder how calculated these moments are. Are we really witnessing genuine errors in impulse control? Or are these contrived moments of, shall we say, Oedipal appeal, intended to manipulate viewers into dismissing the many serious reports that Meghan is a heinous bully, particularly in work environments, particularly when and where she perceives herself as the boss, and instead believe that she's a type A overachiever who just wants the best for her projects and has trouble expressing that properly sometimes? If I were her PR person, I'd absolutely be including one dumb perfectionist tick per episode to cultivate this perception of her because, yes, it's quite unappealing, but it's better than her current narrative and might even be a stepping stone to redemption if she comes off as a nice person who simply has high standards by episode 6 or 8 or whatever they're doing here. Also, it's just my personal aesthetic preference that they keep doing shots of her doing and saying weird stuff to upbeat vintage bops. It's so memeable.
She did it totally right. It's magic.
Both Harry and Meghan, the Netflix show, Not the People, and the Invictus documentary had such melodramatic soundtracks. And I've always thought they were personally approved by Meghan after much back and forth because she's always so keen to have her taste in music mentioned in fluff pieces. Like in Alison P. Davis's infamous Megan of Montecito in The Cut. Quote, the gentle tones of a flamenco inflected guitar floating from a speaker, end quote, are mentioned. And in Matt Donnelly's equally unhinged, Meghan Markle lets her guard down on grieving Queen Elizabeth, producing with Harry and returning to Hollywood in Variety magazine. Quote, she shrugged off the pop singers of contemporary radio in favor of her own 1970s road trip playlist. End quote. Even at her own wedding.
I just really wanted the music to be fun. Even our first dance, Song of a Thousand Dances, a thousand. I always get it wrong.
Shut up. You know exactly what the song is, and it's okay to know your wedding song. Pretending you don't just reveals how desperate you are to cultivate a too cool for school persona, and it's off-putting in somebody so many decades removed from middle school. This is a superfluous lie. On the same order of magnitude as
I didn't know much about him, and so the only thing that I had asked her when she said she wanted to set us up was, I had one question. I said, well, is he nice?
that's another thing I'm really looking forward to in this series, actually. I don't know how much Harry will appear, but I love watching him react when Meghan acts out for validation in this way. You always see his face go from disgust at her tendency to lie and exaggerate to pity for her and concern she won't get away with this lie. Because in his mind, he's the morally, culturally superior patriarch of the family who must protect the family at all costs, while she's just the naive, manic pixie dream middle-aged woman who happened to float his boat. Then a sort of schadenfreude in glee as he witnesses how much of a fool she's willing to act to support her disingenuous narratives. And finally, admiration that looks to me like half a vicarious duper's delight, half a desire to abandon recognition of reality to the degree that Meg does, to the degree he believes he'd be able to if only his past wasn't so thoroughly witnessed and publicized. Speaking of the engagement interview,
what about this new role? I mean, you're going to have a bigger platform, a bigger voice. What do you want to do with it?
I mean, how?
Singing.
wait, what?
Singing.
Can you imagine? No, I'm not a singer.
Oh my God, Meghan, just own it. A global franchise of Princess Meghan, Callie Sober KTVs would be far more popular and lucrative than whatever you're attempting. Playing the hostess with the mostest on Instagram. You could have a crown jewels room, a yacht room, a room to bake. You know, the kind of place your former coworkers and friends went after you disinvited them from your wedding reception? Do you think Meghan fancying herself an audio engineer precluded the inclusion of moments of genuine joy and connection in favor of egotistical TikTok ready-mades?
It's magic.
Or do you think everyone on this show is so fake it hardly matters? So they just had to cobble together things like this and hope that we're making a drink or looking at another screen as they pass.
What? This is probably one of the most glamorous moments of my life.
It's magic.
I'm going to share some little tips and tricks.
I don't know. Do we really need housekeeping tips and tricks from the likes of Meghan? Maybe I'm just not the target audience. I honestly never care when celebrities do cooking and lifestyle stuff, unless there's some kind of voyeuristic element from someone very old school and eccentric. Like, I live for this Kathy Hilton trophy wife freak out.
Wait, excuse me.
What?
This was my gift to Carter.
What?
This is a beautiful Hermes tray that does not belong in the kitchen with a bunch of candles. I thought he'd use that in his office with like water. I mean,
Well, he didn't do this. Someone
who
else
did this? Does he know? I'll just take it back.
No, he loves it, but he didn't know what to. I don't even know what this stuff is. So what are we supposed to do with it?
I think it should go to the beach and it shouldn't have anything on it.
Oh,
It's an Hermes tray and they're really hard to get.
I'll put it here.
No, Paris.
I don't know where to.
He just doesn't appreciate it.
No, he loves it. He just didn't. He didn't do that.
Who did this?
Housekeepers. I don't know.
That is the kind of rich and wacky combo I'm looking for. Although I strongly suspect Meghan will not ever acknowledge, even a bit, at any point, that a team of servants makes her world go round.
Love is in the details.
To answer her vital question, well, I can't cook at all, so if she makes anything people seem to like, even slightly, I will be genuinely impressed, truly. Also, let's acknowledge her bravery. She's been flopping like a seal for years now, and she decides to come out with a cooking show. A cooking show in a world where Marco Pierre White and Gordon Ramsay exist. Master Chef, Top Chef, Iron Chef. I mean,
I can't speculate on the future,
however, girl has the heart of Invictus.
and none of that can ever be taken away.
Also, I'm interested in literal magic, candles, rituals, crystals, mantras, drugs with friends. I'd like to see some of that. I'm thinking midsummer period cocktails, Mama Doria vintage pot brownie recipe. By all means, make it as magical as you are, Megan. Let me know in the comments below, are you watching this show or just watching all the reviewer roasts? Toodles! Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.